Cross country soars to its highest ranking in school history. Men's basketball volunteers with the Special Olympics, and reigning WCC Coach of the Year Aaron Gross joins us for a one-on-one. Portside of the Pilots is on now. Welcome to another edition of Portside of the Pilots. I'm your host, Adam Lindman. We start tonight with a look back at a breakout performance for the remarkably consistent Portland men's cross-country team. Last week, head coach Rob Connor predicted a strong performance at the prestigious Nuttycombe Invitational in Wisconsin, and his team delivered. Portland, which entered the meet ranked number 25 nationally, raced to a second-place team finish, besting 17 other nationally ranked teams that included number 3 Syracuse, number 4 Stanford, and 5 other top 15 opponents. Top-ranked Northern Arizona was the meet champion, but Connor once again showed the Pilots are not to be underestimated.
I don't think the results surprised us. They seem to have surprised everybody else. But from day one, we knew we had a great team, and one hurdle down, we beat some out-of-region competition. Now we got 4 weeks and some big challenges coming up. The great thing is we have 3 guys that are pretty compatible at the front. This year we got Thiesenhager and Manu. For his first race to come over here and put that performance together was very impressive.
With the performance at Wisco, the Pilots vaulted up the national rankings an impressive 22 spots to a program best 3rd place this week in both the flow track and coaches polls. Portland was ranked 4th nationally in 1993, 2008, and 2009 and earned a podium 3rd place finish at the 2015 national championships. Individually, Jeff Thies was ranked number 20 nationally by flow track. The Portland women's cross-country team was in action at the NCAA pre-national meet hosted by Louisville on Saturday. In a loaded 48-team field with multiple ranked teams, freshman Yasmine Lau placed 18th overall to lead the Pilots. Junior Taryn Rawlings also finished in the top 50 as Portland placed 16th as a team. Women's soccer picked up a tough road win against LMU on Saturday night in Los Angeles. Senior Ariel Vieira gave the Pilots the early lead with their first goal of the year, but the Lions found the equalizer late in regulation to force overtime. Freshman Taryn Rees then ended it with her first career goal midway through the second OT to give Portland the thrilling win. Junior goalkeeper Rachel Lusby was spectacular between the pipes as she recorded 11 saves on the night.
The road win was really good for us. Obviously it's good to get wins at home, but it's even better like away on other teams' fields where it's often like a harder environment to play. And then kind of the whole season as well, having like a challenge, like being so close, a lot of 1-0 losses, it was really good just to like get a big win, especially for our first one in conference. Getting my first goal was a really good feeling, but then getting the win as well, I think that just made it like a lot better than just scoring a goal like in the middle of the game. Winning on the road was really good momentum for where we've been. We've been so close, and then we finally got a win, so hopefully it's good momentum to carry into this weekend.
Men's soccer continued its playoff push with a solid road result at upstart San Diego on Friday night. The Toreros entered the night unbeaten in 7 of their last 8 matches, but Portland went ahead early on a first-half strike by sophomore midfielder Gio Magana Rivera. San Diego leveled it midway through the second half, and a costly red card in the 77th minute left the Pilots a man down, but Portland was able to hang on for the tie and improved to 1-0-1 in the WCC. Portland's volleyball team hit the road last week as well to face a pair of nationally ranked conference opponents. Number 7 BYU lived up to its ranking with a straight sets win on Thursday night in Provo to improve to 19-1 overall and 8-0 in the WCC. The pilots then flew to San Diego for a Saturday afternoon meeting with number 18 San Diego. Portland was competitive in all 3 sets, but the host Toreros pulled out the win in 3 to improve to 7-1 in league play. The Pilot men's basketball team made its 11th consecutive trip as a team to volunteer at the Special Olympics Youth Games hosted at the Nike World headquarters. Players had a great time working stations and interacting with the kids throughout the day.
How's everybody doing today? Are y'all ready to play some basketball? Who's ready to play some basketball?
There we go. Can I have a high five? High five. Woo! There we go.
We're here at Nike. It's Special Olympics. This is my 4th year doing it. It's always really fun to get out here with the kids. Come on, Wesley. Come on, you got it. It's always fun to be out here with the kids. Good job, Wesley.
Do you have a favorite player? Do you like Stephen Curry? Do you like Steve? Yeah, he's really good, right? He's pretty good. He can shoot from far deep from 3. I'm gonna pick you up and then you're gonna dunk. Is that all right? All right, let's do that. You just gotta get the ball. You're gonna throw it in. 3, 2, 1. Come on. Woo-hoo! There we go. You say it. Good job.
We're just looking to have some fun, play some basketball, just like the kids. Like Bo here's gonna make the shot. We're having a fun day. We're gonna have a fun day. Good job.
Everybody give it up, Eric. Good job, Eric.
And coming up next, we'll talk with WCC Men's Tennis Coach of the Year, Aaron Gross, and look back at a historic season. Portside of the Pilots continues on NBC Sports Northwest. Welcome back to Portside of the Pilots. We're joined now by longtime men's tennis coach Aaron Gross. Aaron, you've been here now for 20 years, coming off a historic run, conference title, coach of the year, player of the year. Just talk about last year's storied season.
That sounds really cool. I haven't thought about it in a while. Just I think we've got a lot of business at hand right now between this great team that we have one last run with here and a lot of recruiting going on. But I sit there and think to myself sometimes if nothing great ever happens again, I'll have that forever. And I think the guys in the team will always have that together too. And so it's a really cool, magical time. A lot of things fell into place, and it's hard to kind of think like, oh, I want to replicate that this year. I mean, ideally we go beyond it, but at this point it's just kind of a day at a time.
And you mentioned recruiting. How has that success impacted your program, specifically in regards to recruiting?
I think that it's hard to necessarily quantify it for sure. I mean, we've definitely had probably stronger looks from a little higher level players, but we lose so many guys after this year that I don't know that I can quantify for sure, just because I haven't had to do it for the last couple of years because these guys all kind of grown up together. So it's been an interesting recruiting cycle, and but I mean, it obviously can't hurt that we've been doing pretty well the last couple of years for sure.
And the guys are almost all back this year. What are your expectations this season?
I think our expectations are a little stronger out of conference play. I think we had too weak of a schedule last year. We were 18-3, and when you schedule a year out, you don't know for sure how good you're going to be. And I thought we were going to be pretty good, but we got through probably 4 or 5 that I thought were going to be 50-50 type of matches, and it turned out we had an amazing record in the end. But it also turned out that probably our out-of-season schedule wasn't strong enough, so we had to be nearly perfect. This year, I think we have enough out-of-conference matches that we have a little more margin for error in that area. I mean, winning conference, we'd love to do that again, but I think the goals are more towards making the NCAA tournament and trying to make a little more of a mark on the national level.
So scheduling in the spring, you guys just added a road match at UCLA. You're at the ITA weekend kickoff event at Wake Forest. So that was a goal of yours to include more prestigious opponents this spring, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Kickoff Classic is something that you have to kind of get invited to, so we would have done that any year no matter what. So we were ranked high enough, and we get to go to Wake Forest, which will be a really cool experience. And we put on several other good teams. I mean, Minnesota, Princeton, UC Davis has been fairly high ranked, Georgia State, and then we just added UCLA, or more like UCLA added us. They had a cancellation, and they called and said, hey, basically you guys are 48 in the country, and we'd like to get your points if we can beat you on our home court. And they're going to be really good, but how do you pass that up? I mean, I think with a really young, fragile team, you worry about it. I still think you got to go do it. But with this team, hey, if they kick our butt, we're still going to, we're going to walk out of there feeling, hey, okay, we gave it our best shot. And who knows? It's one of those days that we could be sitting here a year from now talking about how special that moment was, which would be really cool.
And you do have some events in the fall. Talk about how the fall season's going.
Yeah, it's interesting fall, just because our top couple guys have really earned some opportunities that we've never really had. They've gotten into a couple invitational events. Mike Pervolarakis was the top player in the conference returning, so he got invited to the Oracle Masters in Malibu a couple weeks ago. Hopefully he's going to get invited to the Fall National Championships in Indian Wells in a couple weeks. So we've been all over the board. Me and my assistants and I have been traveling nearly every weekend, one of us, or the other, just trying to get our young guys experience and trying to get those guys who've earned those opportunities that we don't normally get out there and do them. So it's been fun.
Switching to the volleyball court, your daughter Jasmine is starring for Pepperdine. Talk about what it's been like to watch her career.
I mean, it's so fun. It's amazing. I mean, it's hard to root for Pepperdine, but I do, except when they're playing Portland, and then I stay neutral. But it's a lot of fun. I mean, she just kind of went into the whole thing without a lot of expectation. She hadn't played as much volleyball as a lot of kids her age when she went to college, and she just kind of keeps rising, and she's played great, and she loves the experience. And yeah, I mean, what more can you ask for than as a dad, as you see your kid happy and thriving? So it's been really cool.
And she's excelling. She's 5th nationally in total blocks, leads the conference. Did she get her volleyball skills from you?
I don't even know the rules. I mean, that's what's so great about it, is I can just sit there and watch and enjoy it and not feel like, other than maybe some competitive stuff, there's not a lot of stuff I can do other than support her. So it's been great. Yeah. No, I mean, her mom's a terrific athlete. I'm kind of more of a self-made athlete, but she's got some size and a lot of athleticism. So yeah, she's doing great.
And I did mention you have been in for 20 years. Obviously, you've seen a lot of changes, not only in campus, but in the Louisiana Pacific Tennis Center. Just talk about some of those changes that you've seen through the years.
I think it just, most of it, I feel like, is just the resources and support. I think that they kind of go hand in hand. I feel like, Scott Lakem and Jason Breaux, who are, kind of running the ship, have just been unbelievable in their support for us. And that support helps us develop players, and that's really, we're always going to be that. I think, the UCLA and USC and those schools, they kind of have a built-in recruiting base out there that everyone knows and they've earned, But I think we're always going to be the place where we're selling, you're going to get better, and they've invested a lot of technology that has really helped us, and we're always going to hang our hat on that development. We're always going to be there to get better every day, so it's been good.
And then looking at the hopefully not too distant future, you guys are going to have a new home down on the River campus. Talk about those plans.
And it would be amazing. I think it's just one more of those things that we feel like we're getting great support. It's been consistent. People are like, oh, you get the facility because you won conference. I was like, no. I mean, that's been in the works for a while. I think that support has been there because the university sees the value, and and these kids coming out of here feeling like they were super supported for those 4 years, and they're going to be pilots for life, and that means something in a lot of different ways. And so I think that it's really exciting that hopefully is in our future.
Aaron Gross, thank you very much for joining us, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thanks so much, Adam.
Coming up, we walk and talk with Vice President for University Operations, Jim Ravelli, about the recent and future developments on campus. You're watching Portside of the Pilots on NBC Sports Northwest. University of Portland has seen tremendous growth on campus over the last decade, and the man in charge of all campus building projects is Vice President for University Operations, Jim Ravelli. We caught up with Jim last week to talk about how much the campus has grown and what's in store for the future. Jim, 9 years here at UP. I imagine you've seen a lot of building in your time here.
A ton. So we would take an hour to go through all the different projects that we've done here, but more significantly, probably in the last 25 years, we've done about $200 million worth of new projects on this campus, both in terms of new buildings and renovations.
Handful of ongoing projects on campus right now, including this empty lot right here. Used to be Howard Hall. Talk about what's going on.
Sure. So Howard Hall, built in '27, was our former rec center, and we've taken it down and we're going to put in a new signature academic building. So it's got 18 new classrooms, 30 or so new offices. It's going to be a great space for us right in the middle of campus. So we're really looking forward to getting that project going. We're going to start it up here in about 2 months, and then we look like we're going to have it open for January 19.
Another recent upgrade to campus, the Pilot House. Talk about what was done and the impact it's had on campus.
Well, a number of years ago, we upgraded the Commons and really went through and made that probably the finest restaurant in North Portland. We really wanted to do something with the Pilot House. We wanted to go in and really upgrade the food service, put a pub in there. It really expanded our ability to do programming in there and do events. It's been a great addition to campus. And as you can see from folks using it outside, on a great day like this, it's well used.
Yeah, is there a better spot on campus on a day like this?
There really isn't.
Another component of campus that's been upgraded through the years, the athletic facilities, including Merlo Field, Child Center behind us. Talk about some of the improvements that have gone on here.
Absolutely. So we've done improvements to the field at Merlo, the practice field, invested significant dollars in Child Center with new locker room, a video control room, coaches' offices. So we continue to make investments in our athletic fields. What we did with baseball, with the new turf field and lights, extended the playing season there.
A lot of times this is the first thing people coming to campus will see. They'll come here for an athletic event.
And this is the nicest field in all of college soccer. I think about the story where Milan came and they had bets to see if that was actually a turf or a grass field. There is none other like it in NC2A. It makes an impression on students, makes an impression on folks who visit here. They want to come here and see this. It's a great place to have an event.
The Beauchamp Center, hard to believe it's only been open for 2 years, but talk about what a building like this has meant to this campus and community.
This building has been fantastic. Probably my single favorite project on this campus. 72,000 square feet, about 3 Howard Halls fit inside this space. So it has got everything a modern rec center would need, and the kids love it. So this has been transformative. It would stand up against any modern rec facility on any college campus anywhere. It's just a great space.
Another part of campus that has gone under some significant change, the River Campus. First, give us some background and a little bit of a history on this piece of campus.
Sure. This had been an industrial site for probably 100 years down here. We bought it in 2007. It was an EPA Superfund site, part of the Portland Harbor. So we've spent the last 10 years getting the site back to useful state so we can start to develop it for what we'd like to do. And so we've got lots of things that are going to happen down here. It's a great addition to campus. So we're going to put soccer fields in the area where we're walking right now. We'll have a turf field and a grass field here. On the far side of that, we're going to have a new tennis center, and that will happen probably in 2018-19, as well as a new physical plant building. On the other side of the railroad tracks, where you see some of the activity going on, we're going to put a new boathouse for our rowing team, and then also a full-size track and field. So it's really going to be a space that is for athletics, for recreation for our students. It's going to be a great space for the kids to come down and see some soccer, play some tennis. Great space.
So 9 years ago when you first got here, the campus has obviously undergone some significant changes, but there's more to come, isn't there?
Absolutely. We've got this project that we're going to finish up. We have others in the pipeline. I think the dramatic change that you saw from 2007 through now, it's just going to continue. This place is on the upswing, and we're just going to do great things here. Great time to be at UP.
Welcome back. Volleyball returns home this weekend to host Northwest rival Gonzaga. The match is scheduled for Saturday at 1 o'clock at the Child Center, and it's Portland's annual Dig Pink match as the team is raising money for breast cancer awareness. Cash donations can be made on Saturday at the Child Center, or you can make donations online through the Side Out Foundation. The team set a goal of raising $1,000, which they've already surpassed.
We are raising money for breast cancer research, and our Dig Pink match is this Saturday against Gonzaga at 1 p.m. and we encourage everyone to come and wear pink in support of breast cancer awareness. Our goal is to raise $1,000 for breast cancer awareness and breast cancer research. And we've been sending out a link where you can send donations. Everyone knows someone who's been affected by breast cancer, and we really want to encourage research for breast cancer and breast cancer awareness and just make aware of how big of a problem it is.
Saturday also offers fans a chance to watch the Portland men's basketball team in action for the first time this season with a purple-white scrimmage at the Child Center. The game, which is scheduled to begin at 5 o'clock, is free and open to the public, and earlier this week, head coach Terry Porter said he likes what he's seen from the team so far.
I'm very excited about the way these kids have really just every day have come in with a mindset to want to be the best they can be and push each other and motivate each other. I'm very excited every day that I come to the gym to try to push them and make them the best players and team they can be. I'm comfortable with these guys and where this team is currently at, knowing still we have room to get better and the pieces we have and the strengths of this team. I'm really confident about us going into battle this year and competing night in and night out.
The men's soccer team remains on the road this week for a WCC match at LMU on Saturday night. The Pilots check in at number 26 in the latest RPI rankings, and kickoff of the Lions is set for 7 o'clock at Sullivan Field in LA. The Portland women's soccer team concludes a busy Saturday on the Bluff when they host Gonzaga at Merla Field at 7 o'clock. The Pilots and Bulldogs have a long history dating back to 1992, with the Pilots holding a 24-0-1 all-time advantage. Be sure to send us any questions, requests for content, or just give us some feedback on social media by using the hashtag Portside. And that will do it for this episode of Portside of the Pilots. We'll see you next week.